Switch, Every Day is Friday. By Joe Acosta. Chapter 1, The Routines, Live One Day at a Time. Throughout 2019, I experienced a period of significant changes in my life. I worked as a draftsman in a renowned architecture company, as well as part-time as a driver for Uber and Lyft, all while continuing my university studies in English. Everything seemed to be going well until one day, without prior notice, my employment situation changed drastically. Due to my boss's unprofessional behavior, I decided to resign, and looking back on it now, I can say that I learned a valuable lesson. We should not fear making necessary decisions, as changes often bring positive outcomes. We came to this world to seek our happiness in every step we take in life. It was then that, with the need to seek new job options, I started thinking about the possibility of working full-time for the transportation company, which later led me to another, Uber and Lyft, where I currently work 24/7. While I cannot deny that I found flexibility and autonomy in my schedule there, I must also acknowledge that it involved long working hours, unpredictable schedules, and the responsibility of managing my own taxes and hours. Sometimes I would drive from 1 in the afternoon until 3 or 4 in the morning, and truth be told, it was quite a challenge. I learned that what is simple becomes difficult, but there is always a way to make it easier, and that key lies in maintaining a focused mind and finding moments of enjoyment in daily work. After months of intense dedication, I began to see the results of my efforts, especially in the financial aspect, which was what worried me the most. While I started making a lot of money, I also experienced the effects of exhaustion and routine. I felt the need to take a break, a vacation, to return to the Dominican Republic, my country, for several days to enjoy and relax a bit in the tropical climate. And I could do it, but as soon as I arrived, bam! The COVID-19 pandemic hit the world, disrupting all plans and disarming my ability to adapt once again. By that point, I was already wondering what was happening, if life was trying to teach me something more by spending a month isolated, literally imprisoned by the excessive regulations taking place in the Dominican Republic, like closed airports or businesses, not being able to go out after 5 p.m. because you could be arrested, or stepping out of the government-established norms. How difficult, right? Thanks to not giving up, I eventually managed to return to the United States from the Dominican Republic after a period of mandatory quarantine, isolated for approximately a month and a half without TV, radio, family, or friends. I was alone with a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. Faced with a new reality due to the pandemic, I understood that the key to success lay in organization and immediate action. Back in the USA, I immediately transformed my 2013 gray Honda Accord 4-door into an antivirus car with a plastic partition. I decided to turn the COVID-19 crisis into an opportunity to reinvent myself and maintain a proactive attitude towards challenges. As my financial situation improved again, the exhausting routine of long working hours reappeared. Then the question arose, how can I overcome this feeling of monotony and change my life? This led me to converse with people from different backgrounds. There were students, workers in different fields, people of different ages and social status. All of them, passengers. I asked them how they felt during the week and which days made them happiest. I discovered that Friday was the highlight for most, marking the beginning of a well-deserved rest and the longing for a new weekend. There, I understood that happiness did not depend on a specific day or the type of work in question, nor on money or a luxurious house, but rather on attitude towards life and the ability to appreciate every moment. Ironically, in such an uncertain and changing world as it was during the pandemic, I learned to enjoy every day as if it were Friday, and that became my goal in life. We live in a world where we often overlook the small joys around us, clinging to the idea that happiness is only found in great achievements or extraordinary circumstances. But the small things, those simple and free, have enormous power in our lives. Those things are always within our reach, waiting to be appreciated and enjoyed. However, sometimes we ignore them in our constant pursuit of happiness in material and superficial things. But the pandemic has reminded us of the fragility of life and the importance of valuing each present moment. Would you trade a Friday in 2020, marked by the pandemic, for any ordinary day now? The answer is likely a resounding no. That's why we must learn to pause for a moment and start exploring a new way of living day by day, accepting and enjoying it as if it were Friday. Because this is the true goal of every day, to enjoy and be happier. Routines are an inevitable part of our lives, sure, but it is important to learn to live each day valuing simple things like love, humility, and happiness. It's not about what we possess or having more than others, but about appreciating what we already have. When we strive to be better people, cultivating important values like kindness and generosity, we find true satisfaction in life. And if we also manage to acquire material things, we will learn to make better use of them to increase our happiness, enjoying every day as if it were Friday. Chapter 2: Life is a Luxury. Despite all experiences, both positive and negative, I firmly hold the belief that if we maintain an open attitude, the world will always show us a way. I have gone through difficult times, especially in my work. Driving for long hours, picking up and dropping off passengers, is no easy task. Every time my mind returned to exhausting memories, I would tell myself, go back to 2020, Joe, and stop complaining, but for some reason, I would fall back into complaining. Through these experiences, I have come to understand a fundamental truth, and that is, if you lose track of time, you will lose sight of the privileges you have. Negative thoughts always threaten to be present, so it is crucial to cultivate a strong mind. When we manage to control our thoughts, difficult moments become simply insignificant details. It's like a drop in the ocean that on its own has no significant meaning. Either we control our mind, or it will control us. It is preferable to approach each day with the mindset of a Friday, full of beauty and potential, instead of focusing on the difficult days that we all experience from time to time. We often find ourselves bewildered by the adversities we face, questioning why bad things happen to us even when we are sure we are doing the right thing. The truth is that we do not always have clear answers to these questions. However, what I do know is that when we embark on the quest for a purpose or meaning behind these experiences, we often find the answers we need. It is important to remember that every day we live is a privilege that not everyone has the opportunity to experience. Many people cannot appreciate the present due to various circumstances. Therefore, I invite you to repeat together, change, live in Friday mode, because in reality, every day could be like a Friday if we set our minds to it. It is essential to reflect on the difficult days we face and recognize that, although we have our own battles, there are those who face much more intense challenges. Millions of people have lost their lives, many lack access to basic medical care, others suffer from food shortages, and there are those who struggle with depression without any support. We often complain without fully understanding the extent of suffering in the world. Complaining does not make us stronger, rather, it plunges us into unhappiness and prevents us from appreciating the blessings and happiness we do have in our lives. It is crucial to recognize our fortune and use it to live fully and happily, and I do not mean money. Despite the difficulties we may have faced, the simple fact of being alive should be reason enough to celebrate and feel gratitude. Adversity offers us the opportunity to reflect on what we have and thus find the strength to move forward with optimism. Instead of complaining, it is important to find reasons to celebrate life and share our happiness with those around us. Each passing day gives us the opportunity to wake up and experience the gift of life itself. Although it is easy to fall into routine or feel overwhelmed by challenges, we must remember that each day brings new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Even in the darkest moments, there is always something to be grateful for. Plus, what do we lose by giving our best? Ask yourself. What do you lose if you try to turn a bad day into an opportunity for change? The key is to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and appreciation for each present moment. When we take the time to reflect on the good things in our lives, we realize that we are luckier than we think. That's why it's important to express gratitude and say, thank you, every day. Every breath we take, every person we love, and every experience we live are reasons to celebrate and be grateful for. Think about moments of illness, when we find ourselves bedridden, struggling to breathe properly due to a flu. We desperately long for the blessing of breathing freely and effortlessly. Each inhalation becomes a difficult task, and a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of something as simple as breathing. In the midst of something as minor as nasal congestion and difficulty filling our lungs, we realize how easy it is to take for granted the simple act of breathing. It is discomfort that makes us aware of the wonder of breathing without obstacles, of the vitality that each breath of fresh air brings. But it is only when we are on the brink of losing that capacity that we truly appreciate its value. After days of discomfort, when we finally recover and feel the air flowing freely through our airways, we experience profound gratitude for something we barely noticed before. In recovery, when health returns and we can breathe without difficulty, we treasure the simplicity and greatness of breathing. We commit to not take this elemental gift of life for granted and to remember its importance even in everyday moments. We appreciate breathing as never before, aware that it is a luxury that deserves to be valued in every inhalation and exhalation. All our experiences, whether positive or negative, small or large, shape us and teach us valuable lessons. Through the ups and downs of life, we find opportunities to grow in wisdom and understanding. Therefore, instead of lamenting the challenges, let us be grateful for the lessons they provide and for the strength we develop from them. The next time you feel overwhelmed by life, take a moment to stop and appreciate the luxury of simply being alive, of being able to breathe. At the end of the day, life is a precious gift that we must learn to enjoy fully and receive with gratitude. Valuing what truly matters and making the most of every moment is a luxury that we often overlook. Chapter 3, There's Always a Reason to be Grateful. It was just another day, and the sunlight streamed through the window of my car as I dozed off. Even though it was 5 p.m. and the previous day had been exhausting, upon waking up, I felt an instant renewal. The sun seemed to be smiling at me, and I told myself, I'm ready to face another day of work. As I drove, I reflected on the fortune that had been my life in recent years, especially remembering the turbulent 2020, marked by the pandemic and all the adversities it brought with it. That challenging year left lessons for everyone. Despite the difficulties and losses faced by millions of people, I considered myself fortunate to have come out relatively unscathed. The pandemic taught me the importance of standing firm even in the toughest times, of having a plan or strategy to reach our goals. Sacrifice became the key factor that allowed me to understand this valuable message: be thankful for a simple reason, and life will show you more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude is a powerful tool that transforms our lives. It makes us more valuable, vulnerable, generous, and empathetic. Learning to be grateful for everything life offers us, both good and bad, allows us to grow and evolve as individuals. Every experience teaches us something and gives us the opportunity to grow. That's why we must accept all the lessons life offers us, be grateful for them, and be willing to change to notice improvement. I remember one day when I had a meaningful conversation with a passenger while driving my car in Boston, working as a driver for Lyft. I received a notification to pick up a passenger named Mary. When I arrived, I met a very smiling and friendly person, a tall, brunette woman, around 60 years old, whose positive attitude and gratitude towards life struck me from the very first second of the conversation. The conversation went something like this. "Good morning, how are you?" "Fine, thank you, how are you?" "Every day is Friday for me," I said with a smile. She looked at me and made a disapproving gesture. "Well, it's hard for me to feel like today is Friday." "Oh, and why do you say that, Mary?" The woman took a breath and pursed her lips into a tight smile. This week marks the first anniversary of the death of my mother and my sister, so these are very difficult days for me. I expressed my condolences and sorrow. It's okay, no problem, she replied. Although it hurts, I am grateful to be able to remember the happy moments I shared with them. Now I am a mother of 2 girls, and I try to focus on the things that make me feel good, especially my daughters. I simply accepted what happened, and now, the memories are more than enough to make me feel happy. Do you see how powerful that is? It totally changed her attitude. Although the pain never completely disappears, Mary was able to find comfort and gratitude in happy memories. Her story taught me that, there are no secrets to gratitude, but we must seek reasons to be grateful. If she could find reasons to be grateful even in the midst of her pain, then all of us can too. Difficult moments are inevitable, we know that drama exists and that those moments are very tough, but we can overcome them with time, understanding, and gratitude. Even on the most complicated days, it is crucial to remember that there is always something for which we can be thankful. If we can identify that reason and find meaning in our lives, we will discover that days can be filled with hope and opportunities, as if they were Fridays. Although life is full of ups and downs, it is precisely in those difficult moments where the opportunities to grow and learn lie. Each day brings us new lessons and an additional opportunity to learn to be grateful even in the midst of pain. Every obstacle we face brings us a little closer to becoming the person we want to be. Therefore, we must welcome every challenge with gratitude and acceptance, recognizing that it is preparing us for a better future. The next time you find yourself facing adversity, take a minute to reflect on the things you can be grateful for. Even in the most painful moments, it is important to take time to process and reflect on the situation. Sometimes, difficult circumstances are unavoidable, and there, acceptance becomes a powerful tool to find inner peace. Remember that there are always reasons to feel appreciation in our lives, whether it's for the love and support of our loved ones, the comforting beauty of the nature surrounding us, or simply for the fact of being alive and having the opportunity to face the challenges that come our way. By recognizing these blessings and being grateful, we discover that even in the most difficult moments, our path can be illuminated towards hope and happiness. Thus, in the midst of difficulties, let this feeling be our guide, leading us towards inner calm and the strength to move forward. Gratitude is a transformative force that can change our perspective and our emotional well-being. By cultivating values that bring us closer to it, we will discover a renewed world within us, showing our best version. Because, ultimately, that improved version is simply about ourselves. In the midst of uncertainty, it is crucial to remember the reasons why we can feel gratitude. Sometimes, moments of intense pain can cloud our perspective and make us forget the blessings we have. However, by taking a moment to reflect and remember these things, we can find comfort and strength, and here acceptance plays a fundamental role in this process. At times, we face situations that are beyond our control and we cannot change them, so accepting them becomes the best option, and I would even dare to say the only one. This does not imply passive resignation, but rather recognizing the reality of the situation and finding ways to move forward with grace and strength. Chapter 4: Understand the Simple Mathematics, the Art of Adding Up in Life. Once I read a phrase in a book that resonated deeply with me: to know and not to do, is like not to know. This statement encapsulates a fundamental truth that we often overlook: knowledge is essential, but its true power is unlocked only when we apply it, otherwise, what's the point? It is action that leads us down the path of abundance, where each day becomes an opportunity to receive the blessings that life has in store for us. Thus, life boils down to a simple equation of addition and subtraction, of the negative and the positive, where honesty with oneself is the first step towards change. So, we must ask ourselves: are we acting to create more or to create less in our lives? Do we want more or do we want less? These might sound like simple questions, but they are profound. And the deeper your answers, the more they will resonate in your mind. I recall a particular moment while working at Lyft. I received a call to pick up Jackie, a young woman, very friendly with a beautiful smile, in her 30s and American. She entered my car, and we immediately began a dialogue. "Hello, how are you?" "Jackie, right?" I asked. "That's right. Joe, isn't it? How are you?" "Every day is Friday, Jackie." Jackie laughed and nodded repeatedly. "You know, I like your attitude. And it's true. I've been through a lot in my life, and I can tell you that you can indeed add up. You always have to have that energy, so the days count. What you're saying is important. What do you do? Could you tell me why and what you do to add up?" Jackie looked at me and sighed. I knew she was preparing to tell me something intense, and she did. She told me that before all the good things that were happening in her life, she had very difficult situations. She said she was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and it was very hard, but for some reason, she had the courage to get out of there and make a new life. She told me she was working as a nurse and manager at a care home for people addicted to drugs. She worked approximately 18 to 20 hours a day and slept very little, but she was aware that it wasn't good. She told me that the things that added up in her life were meditation, yoga, and practicing being happy daily. That's what helped her turn her life around and get out of that maze. Wow! I was surprised, astonished. I looked at her and told her how valuable that message was to me, that I had plans to write a book, and with her permission, her story would be in it. She smiled, said yes, she would like that, and thanked me. I thanked her too, thanked her for entrusting me with something so intimate and opening my eyes a little wider. After that, she gave me a tip. I wanted to laugh because it was me who was supposed to give her the tip. "Jackie, if you're reading this, I send you a hug from here. Without realizing it, you made me add up in my day and in my life." Understanding the importance of this equation in life is a challenge, and in the end, mathematics is simple. What do we want for our lives? This understanding of addition and subtraction led me to develop 5 fundamental habits that today allow me to grow, thrive, and be happier in any environment, not just in the workplace. Think positively. Maintaining a positive mindset is like opening new doors of the universe to ourselves. Even amidst problems and the darkest moments, there will always be lessons to learn and growth to experience. Every experience we live offers us the opportunity to evolve and move forward on our personal path. Learning to extract the positive from each situation is a priceless skill that propels us forward on the journey of life. Let's remember that even from the negative, something good can be extracted. Cultivating a positive mindset not only helps us maintain an optimistic perspective but also strengthens us from within, making us braver than ever. Cheer up. Practice gratitude. More than just a courtesy word, gratitude is a powerful tool that connects us with the very essence of life. Gratitude is the door to abundance. By recognizing and valuing the blessings we already have in our lives, we open the door to receiving even more. Cultivating gratitude daily not only transforms our perception of reality but also immerses us in the deep joy of being alive and truly experiencing life. Like Mary, who found comfort and gratitude amidst her pain, we too can cultivate that attitude, recognizing the small and big blessings we have. Gratitude connects us with the deepest part of our being and opens us up to the infinite abundance that life has to offer. Add experiences by reading. Reading is much more than flipping pages, it is a journey of self-discovery and personal development. Through books, we explore the brightest minds and the most transformative ideas in history. By feeding our minds with knowledge, we broaden our horizons and become more complete and self-aware versions of ourselves. Although it may not seem like it, reading can lead us to discover a passion or simply to find greater happiness in life. It's no coincidence that 86% of the most influential, successful, and happy people have the habit of reading daily. If you aspire to grow, improve, and add up in your life, reading is a path you must explore. Do you want to grow? Read. Do you want to be better? Read. Do you want to be happier? Read. If you want to add value to your life, read. Invest in your physical well-being. Keeping our bodies fit is a way of honoring our inner being. Essential nutrients like vitamins, proteins, and minerals are crucial for maintaining brain health and promoting better overall body function. These nutrients not only help maintain the brain structure but also play a role in keeping you in good spirits every day. Proper nutrition also significantly impacts the digestive system, which many people overlook. A balanced diet can help maintain better gastrointestinal health. Conversely, excessive consumption of processed foods, saturated fats, and sugars can lead to digestive disorders such as irritable bowel syndrome, heartburn, indigestion, and constipation. Personally, I don't consume sugar, and this has helped me maintain better physical and mental health. I encourage you to explore the purpose of sugar and how it contributes to the body. You'll be surprised. When the digestive system functions correctly, the body can properly absorb essential nutrients from food and efficiently eliminate waste. A healthy diet can significantly contribute to reducing stress, improving mood, and increasing energy levels. However, it's important to understand that following a balanced diet doesn't necessarily mean eliminating entire food groups like meats or vegetables. Instead, it's about making smart and conscious choices about what we consume. Rather than focusing on extreme restrictions, the focus should be on reducing the consumption of unhealthy foods like refined oils, junk food, and highly processed foods. These foods are often high in saturated fats, added sugars, sodium, and artificial additives, which not only lack nutritional value but can also have negative effects on physical and mental health. A balanced diet is not only essential for optimal brain function but is also crucial for maintaining overall human body health. However, it should also be accompanied by physical exercise. Implement a plan, and over time, you'll see changes in your body and mood. If you don't prepare in time, time will present you with bills. Physical exercise not only strengthens our muscles and improves physical health but also has a significant impact on our mental and emotional health. When we move, we release endorphins and dopamine, the happiness hormones that fill us with energy and vitality. Additionally, regular exercise instills discipline in us and helps us develop a mindset of resilience and determination. Some people go to the gym to look better, while others go to stay healthy. Neither is right, but as long as you're contributing to your health benefits, you're on the right path. Definitely, staying fit contributes to our overall well-being and makes us feel happier. Exercising is a different and necessary way to add value to our lives. And although at first, it might mean a great sacrifice, the positive results will justify every drop of sweat shed. Take action now. Action is the key ingredient that turns our dreams into realities. I call it the habit of encouraging myself quietly, reminding myself, yes, you can, keep going, stop, persist, get up. Daydreaming is not enough, we must commit to our goals and take concrete steps to achieve them. Personal responsibility, courage, and perseverance are the tools that open the doors to success. When we commit to being the architects of our own destiny, we become masters of our lives, and thus, we add up with determination. Understanding the simple mathematics of life is the first step towards a fuller and more meaningful existence. Each day becomes an opportunity to add value to our lives and the lives of others. We can see the days as simple markers on the calendar, or we can choose to see them as opportunities to grow, learn, and be happier. The choice is ours, and we always win when we choose to add up. Therefore, let's take action and cultivate these habits that will help us add up in our lives. Let's work every day with positivity, gratitude, growth, strength, and determination. At the end of the day, life is a series of additions and subtractions, and it's up to us to decide what we want to add to our personal equation. Chapter 5: The Purposeless Path. I've spent many hours driving through the streets of Boston and other cities in Massachusetts in my car, working daily with Lyft and Uber. I move back and forth, picking up and dropping off passengers everywhere. From dusk till night, my routine is constant, and I find myself focused on work and the necessary responsibilities to achieve my goals. While I always knew it would be challenging, this was the path I chose, so I pushed forward. However, there were moments when I questioned the purpose of it all and fell into demotivation and procrastination. The year 2020 was one of the most exciting of my life. I spent long hours working in my car and made good money, but despite the success, I still felt a void and a lack of deeper purpose. It was on one of those nights around 3 in the morning, while working for Uber in Boston, that I received a call to pick up a passenger in Dorchester. That night marked a turning point in my perspective on work. The passenger, named Rick, was a man from Puerto Rico and was around 35 years old. Despite his tired appearance when he got into the back seat of my car, he showed a genuine desire to strike up a conversation with me. During the ride, what started as simple small talk deepened, leaving a lasting impression on me. He told me about his own work routine as an Uber driver, revealing that he had long days ranging from 14 to 16 hours a day, practically 7 days a week. He confessed that sometimes he fell asleep in his car while waiting for passengers. I asked him how he could withstand such an intense work pace, and that's when Rick shared his motivation: saving enough money to buy a house in Puerto Rico in 5 months. Although his journey was exhausting, his goal provided him with a sense of purpose and satisfaction. He reminded me of the importance of having clear goals in life. During our ride, he detailed all aspects of his work as an Uber driver, from his earnings to his working hours. I was impressed by his dedication and positive attitude, and at the end of the trip, I thanked him for sharing his experiences and wisdom, recognizing that it had been one of the most enriching days I had ever had. Those words spun around in my mind all night long, and when I woke up the next day, an epiphany hit me hard. Rick's story made me think like never before. If he could stand firm and work so hard even when bone-tired, why couldn't I? I realized that the difference between us lay in the presence of a clear and defined purpose in his life, while I continued to work hard but without a clear direction. Just because it was supposed to be what I should do and that's it. Rick's attitude towards his situation touched my heart. Despite the tiredness and difficulties, he was grateful for every step that brought him closer to his goal. That conversation led me to reflect on the value of purpose in life and how it can transform our perception of circumstances. Since that moment, I have experienced a radical change in my mindset. Now, I find myself outlining a detailed plan to improve my efficiency at work while actively seeking a purpose that gives meaning to my daily actions. Each day becomes a valuable opportunity to move towards my goals and, above all, to recognize and appreciate all the blessings that life offers me. This experience has taught me conclusively that having a clear purpose can make a difference. It can be the key to finding meaning and satisfaction both at work and in life in general. I vividly remember the day my mother suffered a stroke, something that completely changed me. That moment was heartbreaking. I felt overwhelmed. However, amidst so much confusion and distress, a renewed determination arose within me. I asked myself, "What are you doing, Joe?" That's when I understood that the only real way to help my mother was to take concrete actions, provide financial support, and improve her quality of life. I decided to get organized. I committed to redoubling my efforts to rise to the occasion. Despite back pains and accumulated fatigue, my focus was completely on fighting tirelessly for my mother's well-being. At that moment, she became my supreme purpose, my reason for being, my closest and most important goal. That difficult situation became the spark that ignited my engine. Every day, I threw myself wholeheartedly into my work with a new energy, aware that every extra effort I dedicated was an opportunity to improve my mother's life. That's how I understood that moving forward without a purpose is meaningless. Only by finding a purpose that inspires us can we walk confidently, without doubts that weaken our knees, knowing that each step will bring us closer to realizing our dreams. During my self-discovery and personal growth, I have witnessed the tremendous importance of purpose in our lives. One of the most powerful lessons I have learned is how purpose can transform our lives. It changes us and our surroundings, it makes us see things differently, better. This revelation made me want to continue seeking purposes, deeper and deeper, both in my work as a driver and in my personal commitment to my mother's well-being. In the workplace, Rick's story inspired me to rethink my approach. I decided that my purpose was to provide exceptional service to my passengers, giving them a safe and comfortable ride, and making it more personal, friendlier. This change in mindset completely transformed my work experience, giving both me and them a sense of total satisfaction. I had a realization that I had never experienced before. My mother's illness led me to reassess my priorities and dedicate more time and effort to taking care of her. Every day, I woke up with the determination to do everything possible to improve her quality of life and provide the support she needed. So, purpose has been what drove me to choose to live my life instead of just surviving. It has provided me with direction, meaning, and motivation to keep going, even in the toughest times. Chapter 6: Attitude as Art, Mastering the Balance Between Imagination and Reality. Art is like the soul of life itself, don't you think? It's more than just paintings hanging on a wall or music playing in your ears, it's a way of living, feeling, and seeing the world around us. It takes you to a place beyond the ordinary, where you can create, imagine, and unleash your deepest emotions. But most importantly, it's the attitude you bring with you, that secret ingredient that can transform every moment of your day. When one gets caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, it's easy to be swept away by stress and worries, isn't it? We focus so much on the now, on how we feel in this moment, that sometimes we forget the incredible potential we carry within ourselves. But true magic begins when one decides to take control of reality, when we consciously choose to maintain a positive and proactive attitude under any circumstances. This is not just an abstract idea, I say it from my own experience. I've read countless books on finance, personal development, and success habits, and they all agree on one thing: attitude is everything. It tells you if you're finished or if you're a winner. So, how can we turn our attitude into a true art? Daily practice. Daily practice is like laying the foundations of any skill we wish to cultivate. Just like an artist who dedicates time every day to their craft, we too must exercise our attitude. Have you noticed how we respond when someone asks us how we are? A simple, "everything is fine, every day is Friday," not only brings a smile to those around us but also reminds us of the commitment we've made to maintain a positive attitude, even in the most challenging moments. It's a way to spread joy and well-being to others, and to remind ourselves that we must believe in what we say, give it substance. A passenger once told me, "Life isn't like Instagram." This simple phrase reveals how we often idealize others' lives on social media, without realizing that each of us faces our own internal struggles, and those on the other side, too. Because they're human, just like us. Learning to simplify our lives and find joy in the little things is crucial for cultivating a positive attitude. Constant practice is what leads us to mastery. Each day we dedicate to practice, we transform, we go from being apprentices to becoming the masters of our own lives. With each repeated action, we develop skills, strengthen our determination, and move one step closer to reaching our full potential. Practice allows us to expand our limits and discover new capabilities that we didn't know we had before. In this process, we find true satisfaction in growing and constantly improving. And happiness is not just a passive state of satisfaction, but a dynamic quality that arises from dedication and perseverance. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when we face challenges and obstacles on our path to our goals. By committing to working daily to achieve our goals, we cultivate a sense of achievement and fulfillment that goes beyond external circumstances. True happiness lies in the determination to keep moving forward, no matter what life throws at us. Seek a purpose. Every action we take in life should have a clear purpose. However, many people wander through life without direction, without knowing what they're looking for or what truly makes them happy. We have to learn to seek that meaning in our lives, to find inspiration in every little detail that surrounds us. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning, we must remember that our attitude greatly influences the direction our day will take. Just like art, life must have meaning, and it's your responsibility to find your purpose. What sense would life have if we didn't fight for our own happiness, for our own perspective on things? By understanding that a positive attitude makes us better people, we become the architects of our own happiness, building each day a path towards a more complete and meaningful life. Seeking that purpose leads us to discover what we truly value and motivates us to pursue our dreams with determination and passion. Every small advancement becomes a significant achievement for us, a step closer to personal fulfillment and the realization of our highest potential. For this reason, just like art seeks meaning in what you build every day, because it's the path we choose that will take us where we want to go, without clear purpose, art is meaningless. Enjoy the process. It's not just about the destination, but also the journey itself. Every experience, every challenge we face, represents a new step from which we will learn, and what better than to really live them, not just give them to get to the other side. Enjoying the process doesn't necessarily mean partying, going to bars, nightclubs, fancy restaurants, or traveling, though if you can, that's great. The best way is to feel joyful, happy to celebrate those small steps you're taking in your life, which are the most important. Don't wait for big things to congratulate yourself, start with small achievements and move on to the next. Think big, but start small, one step at a time. Art is about appreciation, and if you don't enjoy your work or get excited about what you're doing, it won't make sense. We must learn to savor every moment of the process, to celebrate every small advancement, and to constantly motivate ourselves to keep going. Whatever task we are carrying out, it must be done with passion and commitment. At the end of the day, we are our most important masterpiece, and our attitude is the palette with which we paint our own destiny. Foster empathy. By understanding and sharing the emotions of those around us, by putting ourselves in their shoes and trying to understand what they're going through, we strengthen our relationships and make them stronger. Empathy allows us to see the world from various perspectives, which helps us find creative solutions to the challenges we face ourselves. We stay connected with others and at the same time find deeper purpose and meaning in our lives. Empathy helps us understand that we are real and human, that what we are building is a work of art called reality. The concept it conveys goes beyond and makes us better people. Get inspired. Find your source of inspiration in every corner of life, whether it's the glow of a sunrise or the encouraging words of a close friend. Allow yourself to be captivated by those moments that fill you with energy and drive you to maintain a positive attitude, no matter how small they may seem. Believe me, they can create a big change. It could be a motivational quote, a melody that touches your heart, or simply jumping on dry leaves in autumn, listening to them crunching under our feet that takes us back to when we were kids. Keep your senses alert and your heart receptive to the little wonders that surround you, and let them inspire you on your path to a fuller and more rewarding life. Small things can have a big impact on our lives, and they are there, available all the time, but often we overlook them. Attitude, happiness, love, and more. So take control of your own life and let your attitude be your most precious work of art. Chapter 7: True Transformation, Faith, Persistence, and Passion. Life has its ups and downs, challenging moments and easier ones. But the crucial thing is to know that when we stumble, it's not forever. The key is to get back up again, no matter what. Over the past 7 years, I've spent a lot of time driving my car. Working behind the wheel might seem strange knowing that I'm an architect. However, I don't see it that way. I consider it an opportunity to learn, explore different places and cultures, and pursue my dreams, even discovering new ones. Here, in this car, I not only earn money but also pursue my passions, like writing this book. I don't know what the final outcome will be, but I'm sure I'll never give up. Over time, I've grown and become more capable, and I know that all the effort will be worth it. It always has been. Recently, I was struck by the story of Ilia Topuria, a Spanish fighter who competed in the UFC in the United States. Despite the obstacles, he achieved success and became a champion. During the fighter's weigh-in, just a day before the fight, Topuria said something to his opponent, Volkanovski, who was the champion at the time: "I respect you as a person and as a professional, but I'm here fighting for my dreams." From that moment on, it was clear that faith was his driving force since he stepped on stage. The truth is that faith is a crucial element for success. Although it's not enough on its own, when combined with discipline, confidence, focus, and the right attitude, it can take you to unimaginable places, only seen in dreams. Faith is what distinguishes true fighters from others. It's, above all, the unwavering belief in oneself and the possibility of achieving dreams. Throughout my own journey, I've faced criticism and mockery, but instead of discouraging me, those mockeries have motivated me to strive even harder. People can criticize me and question me, but they can't take away my faith in myself. I know what I'm capable of achieving, and although the future is uncertain, I have a plan and never lose faith in it. I bet everything on myself, and so far, it's been working out more than well. That's why I strive every day to improve, because I know that I am solely responsible for my own success. With passion, enthusiasm, and unwavering faith, I am capable of facing anything. Today I am an entrepreneur of a company created in 2020, Estribo SRL, from scratch, saving every day and investing 70% of my money. Thanks to God, it continues to grow every day, and I run it from my home and my car. Perhaps for many, it would be impossible, but for me, nothing is impossible if faith is unwavering, just as preparation and discipline are constant. So, get up from that bed, have faith, and fight with determination, because you were born to be a fighter, just like Ilia Topuria. Do you think he got to where he is by sheer luck? Do you think his life was easy? We all have something that drives us. That's what gives meaning to our lives. It could be a dream, a purpose, or simply the desire to be better. That spark inspires us to never give up. Never, have faith. Chapter 8: Tell your story without fear. Every day as I roam the streets of Boston, Cambridge, Allston, Brookline, East Boston, and beyond, I encounter teachings, lessons, and reflections that shape me. Working as a driver has provided me with the opportunity to interact with a wide range of people, from ambitious students to successful professionals, each with their own story to tell. Their work ethic, confidence, and belief in, yes, we can, are admirable. Boston is a city full of cultural diversity and a strong student environment, making it the perfect backdrop for my travels. I feel fortunate to have the opportunity to work here. Listening to the stories of those whom I have the privilege of transporting has been a constant source of inspiration. It was thanks to them that I wanted to write this book. My story is not just about me, it's about what all situations in my life have taught me. The change I've experienced through conversations with these people is invaluable, and every encounter on the streets of Boston has left an indelible mark on me. Interacting with people from different backgrounds and paths in my work as a driver taught me the importance of communication. Over the course of the rides, I not only improved my English proficiency but also gained insights into business and finance through conversations with my passengers. Each interaction was an opportunity to learn something new and to deepen my understanding of different perspectives and ways of thinking. Seeing students from prestigious universities like Harvard, MIT, Boston University, and Boston College paying attention to my words was a powerful reminder that we all have valuable stories that deserve to be shared and heard. Absolutely everyone. And if you think you're the exception, it means it's time to start writing it. You have it, you just don't know it yet. I began asking simple but meaningful questions to my passengers. I discovered that many people set aside special days like Fridays to seek happiness, while others found joy in life's little moments, regardless of the day of the week. This diversity of perspectives led me to reflect on the nature of happiness and how we can find it at any moment. One of the most impactful stories I experienced was that of a passenger named Asha, whom I picked up from a hospital in Quincy, Massachusetts. Asha was a woman of dark skin and didn't look over 60. Although she wore a big smile, I could see her dark circles. During our conversation, she shared a glimpse of her daily life. I was concerned about her well-being and asked her how her workday had been, to which she responded that it was fine despite the exhaustion. Later, she told me that she had 2 jobs, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and although she acknowledged her fatigue, she claimed she had no reason to complain. I was impressed by her incredibly positive attitude despite everything, so I asked her how she managed to maintain it. Asha revealed to me that she had 3 children and a husband in Africa. Despite the difficulties and having to work 18 hours a day, her face lit up when talking about her family. She told me how grateful she was to have the ability to work so hard to ensure them a better future, and that it was what gave her a reason to keep going with optimism. Her story reminded me of the importance of valuing what we have instead of focusing on what we lack. All my experiences have left a mark on my heart, teaching me to find joy in the little things and to seek happiness in every moment because that's what it's all about. Now, more than ever, I understand the importance of sharing our own stories, of listening attentively to others' stories, and learning from them. It makes us more aware of our humanity and shows us that our struggles may not be as difficult as we imagine. By listening to others' narratives, we discover that we all face challenging situations, and overcoming them is a personal choice. Yes, sometimes it's extremely hard, but it's possible, even if it means asking for help. Each story is an opportunity to learn, grow, and find the path to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. So, instead of lamenting what we don't have, we must learn to appreciate what is ours. In this constant exchange, we discover that true happiness lies in connection with others and in shared growth along the way. Chapter 9: Listen, Learn, and Share. The interconnected actions that lead us to grow significantly are summarized in listening, learning, and sharing. These interconnected actions not only shape our own evolution, but also influence our contribution to the world around us. The ability to actively listen is a treasure. By listening to others' experiences with genuine attention, we not only broaden our understanding of the world but also forge a deeper connection with the other person. Listening opens doors to new ideas, perspectives, and emotions, thereby enriching our own human experience. Learning, far from being a milestone that we mark once, is an endless journey because the truth is, it never ends. Each interaction, each experience, offers us a lesson if we are willing to receive it. Staying open and receptive to continuous learning equips us with the versatility and resilience necessary to face the challenges that life presents us on its winding path. However, the true power of knowledge lies in our ability to share it generously with others. I firmly believe in the maxim that giving is receiving. By extending a helping hand to others to grow and thrive, we not only contribute to the well-being of the community but also contribute to being better people to ourselves, which is often forgotten or set aside as if it were secondary. In this selfless act of sharing and treating oneself better, we find a deep sense of purpose and meaning. Sharing what we learn not only enriches the lives of others but also strengthens our own understanding and consolidates our knowledge. For example, when we explain a complicated concept to someone, we are not only helping them understand better but also reinforcing our own understanding of the subject. This exchange dynamic allows us to deepen our learning and develop a more solid understanding of the topics that interest us. Moreover, generosity and the attitude of giving without expecting anything in return from the other person are qualities that foster self-growth. Even small acts of kindness and generosity can have a significant impact on the lives of others and the world at large. You never know who or how you are helping someone else, and what may seem minimal to you, for them it could change a life, making it immense. It is for this reason that every time we have the opportunity to listen, learn, or share, let us remember the transformative power that these actions can have. Let us not deny an opportunity to a loved one, let us not deny an opportunity to ourselves. It is crucial to recognize the value of small actions and gestures of kindness, as it is precisely these that can have a significant impact on the lives of others. Let us not underestimate the power of a smile, a kind word, or a supportive gesture. Greatness lies in our ability to give and help others, and doing so should become a daily goal. For example, by reading this book, we are calling to action to share this positive message. Let us not hoard this knowledge and inspiration for ourselves, instead, let us share it with others. By spreading a message of hope and positivity, we can inspire and motivate those around us to adopt an attitude of constant change and growth. So, when someone asks us how we are, let us confidently respond, "Great." Every day feels like Friday. And if they don't understand why, let's take the time to explain the meaning behind those words. Let's spread this way of thinking from which only good things can emerge. Who doesn't like the weekend? Thinking that every day can be good is something positive. Just by facing that vision, our week will seem less burdensome. Even though we face challenges, each day offers us the promise of a new beginning and the opportunity to find joy. How do I know this? Because every day is Friday. At the end of the day, the goal will always be to empower readers to reach their full potential and find happiness in each day.